I struggled for years using gratitude or trying to use gratitude as an effective coping tool for my bipolar depression. And in the end, the solution was just to get rid of my practice. Sure, everyone says that gratitude is the key to health, wealth, and romance, and all you have to do is do a loving kindness meditation or grab a journal and be specific and write every day, and the energy will just come. Well, if you were anything like me and it just didn't feel like it was working, or you tried it a few times and it just didn't stick, but you understand that gratitude is powerful, but you just want to figure out a way that works for you, then this is the right video. So make sure that you watch the entire video, because I'm going to share with you some of my key tools that I used, my biggest mistakes, and some lessons learned. So let's get started. What is gratitude? Gratitude is simply a state of thankfulness or a state of being grateful. In Gratitude Works, Robert A. Edmonds defines gratitude as an affirmation of goodness and a recognition of goodness outside of ourselves. He further recognizes that gratitude engages three aspects of our mind. We intellectually recognize the benefit, we willingly acknowledge the benefit, and we emotionally appreciate the benefit and the giver. But it's so much more than that. Now, there are several neurochemicals, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, that are released in your bloodstream when you write about, reflect on, or express gratitude. The first is dopamine. Now, when expressing gratitude, dopamine is released in your bloodstream and it helps you feel better. It triggers positive emotions and you feel more optimistic, and it also fosters interpersonal relationships. When reflecting on or writing down the positives in life, while you're at work or at home, personal and professional, your brain releases serotonin. Serotonin enhances your mood. Think more of like an antidepressant. It increases your willpower and motivation. Being grateful to those in your life releases oxytocin, which is important in building safety and connections with others. Oxytocin facilitates trusting pro-social behaviors while inhibiting the stress hormone cortisol. Gratitude is a powerful tool specifically because it reduces stress, improves the quality of sleep, increases resilience, builds emotional awareness, and helps to combat anxiety and depression. So let's get to why my gratitude practice didn't work and what I did about it. So long story short, I learned about gratitude a few times along my mental health journey, but I always learned that gratitude was done a certain way, during a certain time, during certain intervals. But the problem is, when I was doing it, I really just got lost. I didn't feel worthy or valuable at the time, so it was hard for me to be able to feel those emotions energetically, and journaling wasn't really something that I did, so it didn't work. Now, the solution for me was to get rid of the practice that I was trying to develop and get one that worked. So really, it was creating and looking at the habits and things that I was doing already, finding out what was working, and infusing certain tools of gratitude into those routines to make them more effective, authentic, and increase the chance that they would work. So in the end, I went from trying to do too much and doing things that I couldn't maintain to creating a practice that was authentic to me, that evolved when I evolved, and helped to create little tools or tidbits of gratitude within the greater scheme and the environment that I was living in. Now let's move on to some examples of tools that you can use. The first is journaling. I know what you're saying. Well, it didn't work for you, Mariette, but that doesn't mean that it won't work. It is one of the most effective tools because writing does create powerful connections in your mind. In addition, there's science behind writing and the written word and gratitude. So if you are a person that journals often, that would be a great tool for you. In the alternative, you could do post-it notes. I used to do those. So I would write in the morning a short post-it note and stick that on my mirror. And then I would keep them. Another example that you can use, or great tool, is spoken gratitude. So creating kind of a gratitude accountability partner. And it helps to increase accountability because you have someone else that you're working with. Visual representations. Now, visual representations are actually one of my personal favorites because I struggled with speaking and feeling gratitude. So what I had to do was find tools, visual tools and cues that allowed me to consistently see it and soak it in. What I used to do was to download them and use them as a screensaver. You could do what I've also done is download them and use them as actual art for your office. So if you're going to do that, whether it's a digital screensaver, using it on your phone or wall art, I'll put a link to my collection of digital art in the show notes. So I created this collection for people like myself who needed those visual representations. For me, worthiness and value was something I honestly had to work on, but being able to visually see representations of that really helped me as it related to gratitude. Now, meditation is a great tool. I talked about loving kindness meditation, but here's the key with meditation. It doesn't have to be specifically meditation for gratitude for it to be effective. You need to find what works for you. So one of the specific tools that I used, because I was already learning meditation and figuring out what worked, was meditation that specifically focused on, for me, relaxation, calming thoughts. Body scan was just what I needed to not only help me build my meditation practice, but infuse the feelings of calmness and the feelings of relaxation, which helped to increase my awareness of the things that I was thankful or grateful for in life. The next, and something that most people probably don't think of, are sending thank you notes. So sending off a note of gratitude to someone with no expectation of a return response for something that they did or a way that they affected your life helps to create that same energy of gratitude inside you. You can even write a gratitude note to yourself. But this is one, in my opinion, that is often missed because most people are looking at solutions that focus on themselves doing something, and that's why I think that writing these thank you notes is effective because you're doing something, but you're doing something in an action to give to someone else. Now, if you're looking for some unique and professional thank you cards that you can instantly download, again, I'll put a link to my collection of thank you cards. I used to do them not even realizing it was connected to gratitude quite often, because when I used to meet with people, I felt just so honored and grateful that they gave of their time that I felt like I had to do something. So shifting your space is also an effective tool that you can use to infuse gratitude into your life and help bring and enhance feelings of gratitude. For example, one of the things that I would do often, especially during the times where I was struggling, was dancing. It was something that I truly enjoyed. And so really being intentional about the enjoyment of the dancing was key. Now I take walks in the morning because I have a dog and, it's her routine. But I do like to go outside because I'm really connected energetically with nature. So I love the sound of birds in the morning, looking at the green of the leaves and the bark on the trees, and just being in a place where I don't have to do or be. Nothing wants from me. I don't have to control it. I can just immerse myself in that place. It's being able to intentionally figure out what those environments are and creating intentional tools to shift yourself there if you need to, so that you can create and open up those energetic channels and those neurochemicals in your body for gratitude. I've also added in the show notes a couple of articles that I felt like were great value, especially if you want to immerse yourself in the subject of gratitude. They go over a lot more with neuroscience and neurochemicals and just that body-brain connection. So I encourage you to look for those. I've also added, like I said, my digital collection below, a link to Canva, which is a free website that you can use to download or find any thank you notes or other visual representation tools for gratitude as well. So remember, developing that gratitude practice should be something that's intentional and authentic to you, especially as it relates to helping with your mental health. Whether you have a diagnosis of bipolar depression or anxiety, or you just need tools for mental health coping, burnout, fatigue, I feel like gratitude and infusing gratitude is a unique but effective tool. It does take time and it does take consistency. And I think the solution is well worth it. Now, the stronger this tool becomes, the more that you can see results from it. And I am so looking forward to you developing a gratitude practice or infusing gratitude in a way that works for you. Thank you.